That was Khalid location. So over I guess the last 3 or 4 months, the Biden administration has passed a gun bill. They have passed a climate bill and an inflation reduction bill with things in there for insulin and lower price prescription. They have passed now a student debt reduction bill. And all, I would say, with the smallest minority probably in recent history. And the thing that's particularly great about this student reduction bill is it was one of the things that this administration campaigned on. It was one of the things really young people were really excited about. The quickest way to annoy someone is to do something for the poor or the less fortunate. If you do something for the poor or the middle class, you will hear people, how are we going to afford it? Where is this coming from? Have you ever noticed that when you can give $1 trillion tax cut to wealthy billionaires who don't pay taxes? No one says anything. Give a stimulus check to someone that's less fortunate. Give debt reduction to someone that's less fortunate. And watch them crow about how do we pay it? Who's going to pay for it? Well, who paid for it when you got your PPP loans and you were in Congress and the Senate? Who paid for it when you had corporate entities that were already multi-million dollar companies that got free money from the government? Who paid for it then? Who pays for your salaries when you don't go to work? Why is it that we do anything for anybody that isn't a wealthy donor, that it is you give trillions of dollars to wealthy people, and they're called tax cuts and incentives. You give it to the poor and the middle class, and they're called handouts and giveaways. Right now, this bill passes, you will get $10,000 to $20,000 off your debt, assuming you qualify. There are 70 million Americans who owe about $40,000. 70 million. There are 20 who owe about between $10,000 and $20,000. It will immediately affect people. Why isn't there a celebration that people? No one says anything when you have to bail out the airlines, and we've had to do that in the last 20 years twice. Look at how many banks. Look how we bail out the banks, making bad decisions on home loans. We bail out the airline industry and Amtrak. We bail out the car industries. Bail out students who made bad decisions, and all of a sudden you're a socialist. All of a sudden you're giving people something they don't deserve. This government, they have the right to have this government work for them. Why is it that the people on the right are more upset about students getting their student loans reduced by $10,000 than they are the governor of Texas offering a bounty of $10,000 to people that snitch on people that have abortions? Why do we all have the money when somebody else besides the people who need it get it? If you want to blow something up, immediately no one will say something. If there's a war, immediately no one will say something. Do something for poor people. Give somebody a $1,200 stimulus check. Take $10,000 off their student loan bill. And all of a sudden, you've done an abomination. You've created an abomination. What have you done in the last few months? You've given us the right to AR-15s and you banned abortion. Is that making your life better? Is your life better because of that? People are getting help that they could use. 70 million Americans, 90 million Americans will be affected to a greater or lesser degree, but 70 million Americans whose debt is the average is $40,000. There are going to be over 20 million people who have their debt erased. You don't say anything. Look at all the congressmen and senators who got PPP money. Where did that money come from? Where'd you get that from? We can always do for the people who we don't think need. We always do for the people who take and don't give back. But we can't seem to do for the poor. And I always hear these people ranting on about we're a Christian nation. What would Jesus do? Probably not give tax breaks. He'd probably pay for the poor. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.